What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I can't believe that Stephen A. Smith said this. I'm watching the podcast Ball in the Family with Lonzo Ball and his brother. And Stephen A. Smith said that in his opinion, Steph Curry is a better point guard than Magic Johnson, right? And so on the show, they asked this, they had a segment called I forgot what they called it, stand on it or back off of it, something like this, right? And so and that's that part of their show, they wanted Stephen A. Smith to see if if he still felt this way about Steph Curry and Magic Johnson, right? But I couldn't believe, you know, what Stephen A. Smith said about Magic Johnson. And the comparison between Steph and Magic, which I think ain't no comparison between Steph and Magic. Um, Magic is a point guard. I think Steph is more of a two guard, a shooting guard. So I wouldn't even compare those two because it's two separate, it's two different positions. I don't know why people think that, why they call Steph a point guard, because he's not a point guard, in my opinion. But with that being said, I'm going to get to what Stephen A. Smith had to say about the comparison between Magic and Steph Curry.
Steph is a better PG than Magic.
Well, I don't recall saying it like that. What I said,
I didn't write these out.
right, no problem. No problem.
Don't come.
What I said was this: Magic Johnson is the greatest quintessential point guard who ever lived. Lonzo Ball, and the way you aspire to play, that's a prototypical quintessential point guard. You are a distributor and a facilitator first. You can score, but that's not what you look to do. Magic was that guy. Steph Curry is not. He's a marksman, the greatest marksman the game has ever seen. What people are missing with Steph and the Magic Johnson debate is this: the point guard is also somebody that's measured by impact. What do you do for the people around you? Magic's doing something around you because he's feeding you the basketball, play calling, fast break, passing the ball, etc., etc. Steph is freeing you up because everybody's head is on a damn swivel watching him. And therefore, you get freed up because they ain't paying as much attention to you because this man is the greatest marksman we've ever seen. Steph Curry walks past a half court. He is literally a threat the moment he steps foot past half court. He can pull up from 40, and we all know it. And so because that's the reality, now the question is for the basketball world. In terms of impact on the basketball court, impacting a player offensively, who has the greater impact on his teammate? A quintessential point guard like a Magic Johnson, or a sniper who moves without the ball in such a fashion that cats like Matthew Dellavedova had to be hospitalized to get oxygen just because of having to guard him? Who is the person with the greater impact?
All right, so he's saying impact, but I'm point guard. The question is, like Magic Johnson is Steph Curry is a better point guard. He's talking about quintessential and all this other stuff. Steph Curry is not a point guard. That's just like Steph Curry is a shooting guard. It would probably make more sense to compare Steph Curry to like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is a shooting guard. He's a number two. Allen Iverson is a shooting guard, right? Allen Iverson played the two, even though Eric Snow was taller and bigger than Allen Iverson, but Allen Iverson's primary goal was to score. So Magic Johnson's primary goal is to distribute the ball and put people in position on the court to where as though they can score, and to find mismatches. That's not Steph Curry's goal. That's not his role on that team. He will get an assist from time to time, just like Kobe got some assists from time to time, right? But that's not Kobe's goal to set other people up so they can score. It wasn't Michael Jordan's goal. Now it was Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, a point guard. So you can compare Isaiah Thomas to Magic Johnson because they played the same role on their teams. But Steph Curry didn't, Steph Curry is not a point guard. He don't play that role. He's not trying to set people up so they can get baskets. His primary focus is for him to find that open spot on the floor where he can get his 3-pointer off. Other than that, I can't see how you can compare Steph Curry to Magic Johnson. And I think maybe part of the reason why they don't want to compare Steph Curry to Magic Johnson, why they do want to, is because now you got to compare him to Kobe. You got to compare him to Mike. He's in a class with and then what's the other guy? Like I said, Allen Iverson. He's a 2 guard. He definitely a 2 guard. He's not like Magic. He's not like Jason Kidd. He's not like none of the great point guards. He just not like that. And so to call him a point guard, I think it kind of, and if you just want to put him in his own category, because he is like Stephen A. Smith said, he's the greatest shooter. Maybe you could put him in a position like you compare him to like Reggie Miller. You compare him to what's the guy, Ray Allen, but he's not Magic or he's not Isaiah. You can't compare him with those guys. He more like a Reggie Miller to me. He's not as tall as Reggie Miller. He's not as tall as Ray Allen but he do the same things they did. And nobody said that, nobody talks about Reggie Miller as far as like getting his teammates involved. Teammates benefit, from having Reggie Miller on the court because what? Reggie Miller attracts so much attention, and so if Reggie Miller is getting double teamed, then somebody else is going to be open. Same thing with Ray Allen to an extent. Ray Allen is running around and that is different. People, if the team is focused on Ray Allen, then that means that Ray Allen teammates are going to have easier opportunities. And it was the same thing with Steph Curry. People get opportunities because of the impact that Steph Curry had on a team. But Steph Curry, like his point guard skills are nowhere near the point guard skills that Magic Johnson had, right? And Magic Johnson's shooting skills is nowhere near what Steph Curry's is. Now, who has a greater impact on their team? I'm gonna go back to rings. Magic got 5 rings, and so I would give the edge to Magic. Like as far as like who had the greater impact on their team is Magic. I just have to give it to Magic. He said, I don't know. I just don't get it. You shouldn't really, like I said, I would compare him to like a Reggie Miller. And then if you compare him, put him in his proper position, I don't think there's a 2 guard that can shoot. Now I wouldn't even put like Mike is a 2 guard, Kobe is a 2 guard, right? But I don't put them in because they don't shoot like Steph Curry shoot. But Reggie Miller and Steph Curry, I would compare those two. And then if you compare Reggie Miller and Steph Curry, who had the greater impact, then I would give it to Steph Curry by far. You know what I mean? Because Steph Curry, Steph Curry got 4 rings. Reggie Miller didn't win any rings. Then when if you want to put who else in that category, like I said, you want to put Ray Allen in there. Then again, Steph Curry beat Ray Allen out because Steph Curry got 4 rings. He's a better shooter in my opinion. So, but I just don't see the point in comparing Magic Johnson to Steph Curry. But as far as who has a greater impact on their team, position aside, I would give it to Magic. Magic was able to. Magic kept a lot of guys. He kept all his teammates involved in the game. He kept everybody, happy. You didn't have no complaints from James Worthy, no complaints from Kareem. Byron Scott, no complaints. AC Green, like, you know, everybody touched that ball. If there was a mismatch, Magic found it. Steph Curry don't do that. You know, Steph Curry, you know, that's not his job. So I wouldn't compare those two. But I think Magic had the greater impact, you know, because his teammates ate because of him, you know. And he was looking to facilitate to those guys. So I would give it to Magic. But let me know what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.